Exodus chapter 4, verse 18. Oh, before I forget, so we are now downtown Yangon, right? There's Emmanuel Baptist Church, as far as I know, it's a Korean church down up there, and I've been there once before, and we'll record it with other views as well. There's like a monument over here, the Sule Pagoda over there, and then the government buildings over here. So yeah, right. So let's start. Exodus chapter 4, or continue at least, Exodus chapter 4, verse 18. Moses went back to Jethro, his father-in-law, and said to him, "Please, let me go back to my brothers in Egypt to see whether they're still alive." And Jethro said to Moses, "Go in peace." It's again one of those kinds of questions. Moses wasn't really intent on going back to see if his brothers is alive, right? That was not why he knew that God sent him to go back to lead the people out. So is he lying now, or is he not lying? Now, I've in other videos discussed this already, if he's lying or not lying and what it implies, right? So I'm not going to discuss this all again. I just want to say that it's most likely this was a cultural moment. But it shows a little bit about the culture. Although he had one thing, but to show the respect to the father-in-law or whoever he's talking to, this is what they had to say. So he need to ask. He couldn't just leave. Of course, like Jacob left his father-in-law. Sorry, he didn't really leave him. He fled from him. Okay, so in this case, at least Moses is going to ask, and he's going to give the reason why he wants to go back. So I think this is a cultural, therefore, moment, a place of where he was explaining. This is a way that he had to say that, right? Because this is what the culture dictated. So everybody understood when you say this, that this is maybe not your real reason, but this is a reason that you kind of need to give. Maybe there's something like that involved here, right? Maybe. Or he just spoke of a part of the truth, but I feel, again, like I explained in other videos as well, it's more a cultural reason than anything else. So it's not a lie. This is what the culture dictated, this is what he did, so he showed his respect to his father-in-law, he asked him this, and he left. Or at least the father-in-law said, "Go in peace." Okay, so we learn a little bit about this relationship. I mean, he was 80 years old. I mean, how old must his father-in-law have been? Now, yeah, we don't know exactly how old. I mean, he might have been actually younger than Moses. Remember, because when Moses fled, he was already 40 years old, and the daughters most likely would not have been 40 years old. They would have been a lot younger than that. So maybe even his father-in-law is younger than him, but we don't know. He's still his father-in-law. Okay, coming to think of that, actually. So it's not to say he could have been actually in my 60s. Well, maybe not 60, because that would have made him, no, that would be kind of impossible. If they were like 20 years old and he was like 20, then maybe the same kind of age, right? Maybe a little bit older, anyhow. Right, and verse 19. And the Lord said to Moses and Midian, "Go back to Egypt, for all the men who are seeking your life are dead." Right, so now God gives more information, but we've already seen the fact that Pharaoh is dead. So now God is informing, after Moses tried to all his best to get out of this, God is informing, you don't need to be too afraid or anything. Why? Because ultimately, right, those trying to kill you, they're all dead. So, I mean, that would be good news to Moses, but again, he already kind of knew this. And so this is just actually maybe more for our information, or as well for the fact that we can see God repeating himself. God does it very often. Noah, go into the ark. Noah, go into the ark. Noah goes into the ark. Noah goes into the ark. I mean, we've seen it truly. I've spoken about that as well. The fact that something is really important. So in this case, it's important information. And it shows as well that, it's in a sense, it's not that dangerous. So Moses not wanting to go back is not because his life was really in danger, per se, in Egypt, but more just because he didn't want to go back. Okay, so this verse actually then gives us more information concerning why it was so wrong for Moses to not want to go back. Verse 20. So Moses took his wife and his sons and let them ride on a donkey and went back to the land of Egypt. And Moses took the staff of God in his hand. Okay, no staff. There's actually like an umbrella here. Oh, here's an umbrella. I can imagine the staff, right? So it's like remember, umbrella. Well, as far as I know, we lived in Northern Ireland, so you always take umbrella out because the weather changes every couple of seconds. You go through all four seasons in a couple of in a day, right? So, but now imagine the staff. So like, I can push on it, like and it's old, and it helps them as well. So he took his wife, his sons as his kind of. He didn't go alone there, and as well that would kind of show that since God said all is good, nobody's seeking to kill you, so that would as well have given him the impetus to take his family with, because those trying to kill him are not there, because if they were still alive, they might have tried to do something against his family itself. And yeah, sure, it helped Moses when he gets there with the family to try and tell the people to get out, and if you just kind of as a one-man show have come there. Okay, so they went back to and they rode on a donkey. Now, I don't think you need to just think here of Mary and Joseph going down to Bethlehem on a donkey, or Jesus riding into Jerusalem on a donkey, all of that. Yes, all of these things happened, but I mean, that would have been kind of the norm, right? Saul searching for the donkeys that got lost, and then he was crowned a king. Basically, now I mean, I don't think in this case there's any of those kinds of connections, because this is just kind of the normal way of how things would have been done. And lastly, he took the staff of God. Now that's not this one, right? This is against the rain. It's pretty cloudy, but it's not raining at the moment. Praise God for that. It's very wet here. So yes, God told him to take the staff, because the staff is what he was going to use to do all the signs, and this is then what he set out to do.